Free from fins. Chapter 5. When Bree woke up, she felt something was different. She then remembered it was the middle of the week. Elsa was beginning to take some of Bree's voice away. Not all of it, but some of it. If she didn't convince her father soon, she wouldn't have to fake being mute and her soul would be taken. Bree got out of bed before the maid came in to dress her. She found a dress herself and put it on, though she struggled to tie the back without any help. Somehow she needed to talk to her father. She had to find Minta and discuss how she should do that. Minta was a wise queen, after all, so surely she would have something up her sleeves. Walking down the stairs she overheard Daniel and his father speaking. She stopped to listen in, which wasn't very respectful, but she always acted on curiosity. The princess should be arriving tonight. Once she does, she will be your main focus for the rest of the week. If you spit a single word about the mermaids to me again, your crowning will be held back. Father, I truly believe I'm onto something here. Bree knows some of them. I'm sure she could set something up for us to talk with them. No. The girl is dumb. She is playing with your mind. She knows no difference between a spoon and a fork. Bree then heard Daniel's father storm off into another room. She didn't hear where Daniel moved to, so she stood still behind the railings, which weren't much of a cover when Daniel could see the colors of her dress. You can come out, he said, looking at the lacy blue fabric. Bree moved down the stairs with her head down. She walked over to him and bowed low to the ground. He crouched beside her and moved her locks of blue out of her face. He touched her cheek for a brief moment. I'm sorry you had to hear that. Bree finally looked up and shook her head. Then she pointed to herself and then up to her head. Daniel caught on. You have an idea? She smiled happily and nodded. He gave a toothy grin and grabbed her hand. They ran through the hall together as Daniel sought a room for something to write on. In the library, he found a spare piece of parchment and quill. Bree took the quill and started to write down her plan. She was glad that she did listen in. It was what gave her the idea. When she was done, Daniel took it to read her plan. After he read it, he said, "You could really get the King of the Sea to come to talk with me?" Bree placed her hand on her heart as she gave a single nod. All right then, we shall send the note at once, he said, grabbing a bottle. Bree gave him the quill so he could write. He dipped it in some more ink before he began. Dear King of the Merfolk, my name is Prince Daniel of Derwin. I would like to speak to you face to face. I wish that our people could come to some agreement. War isn't what I wish. If you will meet me at 1 in the morning near the beach, I will be very pleased. I will be there the rest of this week at that time. With humble respect, Prince Daniel. Then Daniel remembered something. Also, a girl named Bree will accompany me. She knows much about your people, but that is the only other person I will bring. No guards. No weapons. Daniel rolled the parchment and stuck it inside the bottle. Then he put the cork on top. He smiled, feeling confident this was sure to work. He gave Bree his hand. She took it and they went to the beach with the bottle hidden in the folds of Bree's dress. When they were sure no one was around at the beach, they threw the bottle out to sea. Their only hope was that Bree's father would somehow find it. It was the only major flaw in Bree's plan, but she was certain if anyone were to find it they would hand it off to the king for inspection. And while Daniel didn't realize it, Bree silently called to the dolphins. They would ensure it reached the castle. Once Daniel and Bree were back in Derwin Castle, Daniel went to attend to his duties. Bree, having nothing to do, searched for Minta. She needed something else to lean on besides the bottle. As it turned out, Minta was the one who found her. The woman took Bree into a closed-off room, and for extra security, Minta made sure the doors were locked before they spoke. Minta, we sent a note to my father. I'm afraid he might not get it in time, Bree said. Your voice has changed, Minta noted, too distracted by the sudden difference. Bree nodded. Elsa has taken some of my voice. It's not as powerful. By the end of the week, she'll have all of it. Yes, yes. But what do you want me to say? I can't give any advice on how to convince your father of anything. But you can convince your son, Bree said. Minta sighed. He will always have a hardened heart. There is nothing I can do. Elsa watched Bree's every move. At first, she sympathized with the girl, understanding the pains of love. For she had lost her lover long ago, but she'd been asked to go against her arrangement with Bree by a surprising person, which she didn't mind obeying at all for many reasons of her own. There were some problems such as Daniel. Elsa knew she couldn't allow them to get any closer to their budding romance. She had to make Daniel against Bree and against the merfolk. Once he was hers, then she would reveal who Bree was. Looking through her shell, she saw her way in. The little princess of Amishi. It would be the easiest way into the castle and to Daniel. Elsa picked up one of her potions. All she needed to complete it was something of the princess's and the girl's hair. Before that, she needed to wake up her backup plan. She swam out of her cave all the way to the outskirts of the Kingdom Otu. Then she found where she had kept her monster, deep in a chasm where the light had no reach. My pet, you've finally grown. Now once I say, you'll go and tear through the Kingdom of Otu, then the rest of the structures in this ocean of Baldwin. The enormous shark opened its soulless eyes. It was the size of a whale with sharp teeth that wouldn't dull over a long period of time. It was the beast of the sea. It was what the merfolk should have feared over the humans. Good, now you'll wait, Elsa said, stroking the shark's top fin. Even the creator won't be able to stop us. And finally, I will have collected enough souls to bring him back.